Hey guys, welcome to J Powell Music. Be sure to like and subscribe here on the channel. Hit the notification bell so you know when these episodes are available. Check out the links above my head, or you can just go to the all-in-one link, which is linktree.com/J Powell Music. If you want to check out all the stuff that I do from a podcast standpoint, music standpoint, music education standpoint, guitar standpoint, feel free to check those links out. They're available to you again, linktree.com/J Powell Music. That is how you get that thing done. So I wanted to talk to you guys about an album that's out. I don't know if anyone's reviewed it. Like, I don't know if Anthony Fantano has reviewed it. If any of the other big YouTube music review sites have reviewed it. I think it's an album that I don't think a lot of people are reviewing. And I think it deserves a review just like anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and review it. I want to review Lecrae's album, Church Clothes 4. First, I didn't know that this was a part of a series. I was like, okay, like I'm assuming there's some other Church Clothes series albums. And then part of me is, I mean, this is probably just my ignorance. I'm like, how is this different than anything else that he makes? And the reason why I say that is because Lecrae is known to be a Christian rapper. Obviously, when it comes to the hip-hop community, the Christian rappers kind of get a bad rep. A lot of them are really bad, but Lecrae is actually a very good artist. He's a very good rapper. So he is one of the selected few out of that terrible Christian rapping bunch that I think is actually quite a good artist. He's quite a good artist, I would say, just based on the things that I've listened to in the past. So I want to give this a go. Give this a go. You know, I find myself, I'm a Christian, but I listen to everything, you know what I mean? And I get a lot of times I get annoyed with some Christian artists because I feel like they're doing it the wrong way. They're shoving it in people's faces, and it just really turns you off, you know, just from a lifestyle perspective and then a music perspective too. So I don't want that to be a bias as far as for me listening to this album, because I listen to literally everything. You know, you have those people that are like, oh, I listen to everything. Like, no, like I listen to more than the average person, like secular, worldly music that's not in English. Like, I just love music as a whole. Okay. So I don't want that to be a bias towards me. But I'm just reviewing it. Does it sound good? You know, and are there any skips? Are there any slaps? That's what I do. And this is the brief review for Church Clothes 4. So let's dive into this. This is a 13-track album, so it's definitely a solid, I mean, a pretty hefty album, if you will, 13 tracks. I would say daring, especially having the, you know, having that, not disdainment, but just knowing of being a Christian rapper, having 13 songs might be a lot for people to take in, you know what I mean? Especially if it's not presented in the right way. If it's just all preachy songs, 13 songs, no one's going to want to listen to that, right? But I'm happy to say that that's not the case for this album. First of all, whoever's producing it, I mean, slow clap. The production on this album is insane. Really, really dope. Very much modernized, very much up to today's secular music standards as far as just like the quality of music. Like, if you were to listen to this and not really listen to the lyrics that much, you wouldn't know it was a Christian artist. You wouldn't know. It's kind of like the Switchfoot theory, when Switchfoot's kind of they just kind of tricked everybody. They kind of tricked everybody. Like, oh no, we're actually Christian. Oh, I had no idea. You know what I mean? But anyway, back to this. Yeah, so based on this guy, I went through the album, I listened to it, and remember, it's a brief review, so I'm listening to it the same way that the average Joe, average streamer would listen to it, okay? So I will say that there are 3 slaps, 3 skips. There's a few songs on here that they're not necessarily slaps, but they're not necessarily songs that I would skip. So those ones, I kind of give a pass. And I say, okay, I wouldn't call this a skip where it's like, okay, this is hard for me to get through to listen to, but there's songs that are good. They're just not necessarily slaps. And I think that's fair. But overall, 3 skips. Let me read you guys off the songs that I think that are skips, definitely. I have track 7 as a skip here. I have track 5 as a skip for me. And then track 12 as a skip for me. Track 13 almost was, but you know what? It fits in the between for me. I think it's a good song. There's a couple slaps on here. Good Lord, I think is a slap. Take Me Up, track 16, I think is a slap. And We Did It with PJ Morton. Of course it's going to be a slap. It's PJ Morton, man. No, it's a very good song as well. So, as we've discussed on the show before, it's a good album. It's a good album. I wouldn't say it's a great album. Lean towards the good for me. And in theory, if we want to say it's great because it's less skips, it's up for debate. But I would personally just lean it towards the good. It's a good album. It's not a bad album. So I'm pretty satisfied with it. If you want to listen to something that's a little more deep, let me know. I think the songs that are skipped, if you're curious as to why those songs are skips, I think some of them come a little too, they're a little too harsh, I think, as far as for some of the messaging. Like for example, the first song, CC4. It's barely a song to me because it's like a minute 40 seconds, but that's just my brain. I could be wrong, obviously, but I think some of the first few verses could be turnoffs as far as for the average listener, because it's one thing when you're describing the state of affairs. So like Kendrick Lamar, for example, or J. Cole, these conscious rappers, if you will, there's one thing where you're mentioning the state of affairs and you're not necessarily preaching to the masses, but or judging in a sense, right? But then there's obviously the other side of the spectrum where it seems like you're judging whoever's listening to this, or they feel judged, and that can either go wrong or right. You know what I mean? It can either be impactful or it can be like, I don't have to listen to this shit, skip. You know what I mean? So I think that kind of teeters, it walks on a tightrope for me for that first song. I was like, there's some good messaging in here, but I think for the average listener, it could be, so I was very close to give this a skip, but I kept it in the middle ground. So it's not a slap, but it's not a skip. It was close, very close. But I think there's enough verses in there that aren't that kind of those pointy kind of verses. So I gave it that. But overall, like I said, 3 skips, 3 slaps. Church Close 4, it's good. Lecrae, I'm looking forward to. I might have to go into his catalog and listen to some more stuff. He's a good rapper. His producer is crazy. So whoever he has as producer, definitely keep that guy. And it's not like cheap or anything. For some reason, I don't know why. Like some Christian artists, they don't know they don't have a good producer. That's really weird. But this guy's insane. So definitely recommend it. It's a good listen, whether you're a Christian or not. If you just want to listen to good music, I think it's a good one to check out. So anyway, J. Powell Music, thanks so much for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe here in the channel again. I'll catch you guys next video.